Beijing's criticism of SpaceX satellites is fueling anger against Musk, who had long been one of the most popular Western executives in China. The backlash included calls online for sanctions against SpaceX and suggestions to boycott Musk's electric car maker Tesla. The allegations that the satellites threaten the safety of China's space station come as Beijing has been putting pressure on prominent business figures, even those who were previously national darlings. The approach also reflects the new Cold War-esque space race that is shaping up between China and the United States. Both are vying to put the first human on Mars and staking out strategic positions in space. Musk has been adored in China for years, with some of the country's most prominent entrepreneurs praising him as visionary and showing off their Tesla cars. Tesla received rare official approval to operate its Shanghai factory solo, despite a usual requirement that foreign car makers team up with a Chinese partner. Just recently, Musk became a viral hit on the Chinese microblogging platform Weibo, after he posted a cryptic Chinese poem to his 1.9 million followers. But the SpaceX backlash suggests challenges ahead for Musk, as business is increasingly viewed through the lens of national security in Beijing and Washington. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian said at a routine news conference on Tuesday that China notified the United Nations on December 3rd about two close encounters this year between SpaceX's Starlink satellites and China's space station. The space station, known as the Tiangong, took evasive maneuvers on July 1st and October 21st to avoid collisions with the satellites, according to the document Beijing submitted to the UN. The US claims to be a strong advocate for the concept of responsible behavior in outer space, but it disregarded its treaty and posed a grave threat to the safety of astronauts, Zhao said, referring to the 1967 Outer Space Treaty. Beijing's complaint was widely reported in state media, banning public outrage against Musk and his companies. On Tuesday, China's national broadcaster, CCTV, posted a video online blasting SpaceX with the hashtag, "The United States is bringing its double standards into outer space." The video and other posts tagged with the hashtag have received more than 30 million views. The US government also bears responsibility, the CCTV anchor says in the clip. They have caused severe threats to the lives and safety of other countries' astronauts. A number of Chinese social media commentators raised the idea of sanctions or boycotts against SpaceX and Tesla. "We cannot let Musk eat China's food while smashing China's cooking pot," one Weibo user declared. "I definitely won't buy Tesla," another wrote. Tesla and SpaceX did not immediately respond to emails seeking comment. Close encounters between man-made objects in orbit are growing as space becomes more cluttered, with SpaceX's Starlink blamed as a major contributor. One estimate by Hugh Lewis, the head of the Astronautics Research Group at the University of Southampton in Britain, said that Starlink already accounts for more than half of close encounters between spacecraft in orbit, with the proportion forecast to grow as much as 90% as the company launches more satellites, according to Space.com. China's space debris has also posed a nuisance to the United States and other countries. Last month, the International Space Station maneuvered to avoid a collision with debris from a satellite China destroyed 14 years ago. China has emerged in recent years as a serious challenger to the United States in space exploration. In May, China became the second nation to deploy a vehicle on the surface of the Red Planet. Beijing announced over the summer its goal of sending a crewed mission to Mars by 2033, a timeline that could put it ahead of NASA. Some Chinese commentators suggested that perhaps China could speed up its own satellite deployments to compete with Musk, in reference to SpaceX's goal to put more than 40,000 satellites into orbit. Chinese celebrity stock picker Dan Bin quipped to his 12.8 million Weibo followers saying, "First come, first served. We can send 100,000 of them up first." China complains to US that Elon Musk's satellite nearly struck space station. China is calling on the United States to protect the Chinese space station and its 3-member crew, after Beijing complained that satellites launched by Elon Musk's SpaceX nearly struck the station. A foreign ministry spokesman accused Washington of ignoring its treaty obligations to protect the safety of the Tiangong station's 3-member crew, following the July 1st and October 21st incidents. The Tiangong performed evasive maneuvers to prevent a potential collision with Starlink satellites launched by Space Exploration Technologies, the government said in a December 6th complaint to the UN Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. The United States should take immediate measures to prevent such incidents from happening again, said the spokesman Zhao Lijian. Zhao accused Washington of failing to carry out its obligations to protect the safety of astronauts under a 1967 treaty on the peaceful use of space. The American embassy in Beijing did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The main module of the Tiangong was launched in April. Its first crew returned to Earth in September, following a 90-day mission. The second crew of 2 men and 1 woman arrived on October 16th for a 6-month mission. SpaceX plans to launch some 2,000 Starlink satellites as part of a global internet system to bring internet access to underserved areas. In its 34th and latest launch, SpaceX sent 52 satellites into orbit aboard a rocket on December 18th. Tesla will build its first factory outside the US in China. Tesla chief executive Elon Musk on Tuesday landed a deal with Chinese authorities to build a new auto plant in Shanghai, its first factory outside the United States, that would double the size of the electric car maker's global manufacturing. The deal was announced as Tesla raised prices on US-made vehicles it sells in China to offset the cost of new tariffs imposed by the Chinese government in retaliation for President Trump's heavier duties on Chinese goods. Musk was in Shanghai on Tuesday, and the Shanghai government in a statement said it welcomed Tesla's move to invest not only in a new factory in the city, a center of the Chinese auto industry, but in research and development as well. China has long pushed to capture more of the talent and capital invested by global automakers in advanced electric vehicle technology. Tesla plans to produce the first cars about 2 years after construction begins on its Shanghai factory, ramping up to as many as 500,000 vehicles a year, about 2 or 3 years later, the company said. That would make Tesla's Shanghai plant large by auto industry standards, where most factories are tooled to build 200,000 to 300,000 vehicles a year, and roughly equivalent to the planned annual production at Tesla's plant in Fremont, California. Tesla's shares rose by more than 1% in U.S. trading, even as some analysts question where the money-losing company will get the capital required to build and staff such a large plant. Musk has said Tesla will be cash flow positive this year. Analysts have predicted it will raise capital to fund a list of new projects, including launching an electric semi-truck, a pickup truck, a compact SUV, and new battery and vehicle production facilities that Musk has proposed for China and Europe. The Shanghai government suggested it could help with some of the capital costs. The Shanghai municipal government will fully support the construction of the Tesla factory, its statement said. Tesla said in a recent announcement it will not impact U.S. manufacturing operations, which continue to grow. China is the largest market for electric vehicles, and most forecasters predict the electric vehicle sales in the country will accelerate rapidly as government regulation drives toward a goal of 100% electric vehicles by 2030. More than 28 million vehicles were sold in China last year, and annual sales are forecast to top 35 million by 2025. That would be more than double the current U.S. market, where new light vehicles run at about 17 million vehicles a year. Musk has been talking about building a Chinese factory long before the Trump administration proposed punitive tariffs on Chinese goods. China, until recently, levied 25% tariffs on imported cars, and for decades, automakers have been moving to build more vehicles in the markets where they are sold to neutralize currency shifts and trade policy reversals. Musk had previously criticized China's tough auto rules for foreign businesses, which would have required it to cede a 50% share in the factory. After China announced in May that it planned to scrap by 2022 the rules on capping foreign ownership of new energy vehicle ventures, Tesla registered a new electric car firm in Shanghai. Let us know what you think by leaving a comment in the section below.